Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction for MARRIAGETOXIN chapter 65 onward. I'd like to try to at least get to 68, so at least 4 chapters, but we're getting kind of close to catching up, so I'm not going to go too crazy or anything, but either way, I'm excited to read, as I always am. We're going to be starting a new arc, which is very exciting, and I absolutely love MARRIAGETOXIN. I feel like we just finished last arc, so I'm kind of riding on a high for the series from that, because the end bits of every arc are just so good. I could sing the praises of MARRIAGETOXIN in every way, from the art, which I think is some of the most gorgeous to me in manga, to the comedy, the romance, the action. I love every aspect of it, but really they nail the ending for every arc. I feel like every arc's ending is the best part. But either way, let's just start reading chapter 65. As usual, we now have volume 8's cover up here, but as usual, I can't actually show it on screen because it's a manga and there's a lot of copyright issues at play there. So, you just gotta follow along on your own. But we start off with a matter of life and death. They rush to help at Ureshino's request, but then so, as I said, I have a friend whose life is in danger. Chapter 65. She's right here. And they can't see anything? Where? Oh, she's peeking up. She was hiding. And whispers something. Sorry? Did you say something? She's so cute! Hold on! She's whispering more. And they're both shocked. This is bad. I can't hear a word of what she's saying. She seems pretty timid, and if I ask her to speak louder, she'll most likely shy away from me instead. It seems I have no choice but to use this. Enhance auditory sensitivity. Toxin hyperhearing. Wait, she's, her name's Makoto Hime. Himinchu and I have been friends since grade school. Himinchu. And then, Ureshino. And they both hit each other with a thumbs up. So why is she getting targeted? The truth is, I haven't heard the details myself. Shiori! Uncle, there's been a mishap. The meeting's been pushed up. And he comes carrying, I guess, are those called a rickshaw? I forget. Carrying one of those carts? But, Himinchu still... And she pokes her in the shoulder and whispers to her, "You'll be fine? Are you sure?" Is she going to talk normally without Ureshino around? And she's just trying to keep up a persona around her. Kinosaki-san, can I have a moment? So, Hime, we'll need you to tell us more about what's going on. Whatever it is, I'll do what I can to help, I promise. And she smiles and taps on her phone. I promise, I'll do what I can to help. So, is this how? You tricked Ureshino with your words? Okay, so is she actually just pissed that he is getting close to Ureshino? Ha! I promise, I promise, I promise. Spoken loud and clear. A wolf in sheep's clothing? Is this her true self? Seems like she can speak just fine. Now that you've given your word, Ghetto, I need you to be my rental boyfriend. Rental boyfriend? Rental boyfriend, what's that? It's a service that lets you hire a fake boyfriend for social events or simulated romance. I sometimes offer this kind of service too. Wait, so what was that about someone trying to kill you? I wasn't lying. This is a matter of life and death. I'm getting forced into an arranged marriage for my father's benefit. To me, that's no different from having my life taken. Before, when I told her I couldn't do it, because I didn't have a partner, she set me up with someone from a branch family I've never even met. I think she was going to try to force me to marry her. That's the situation, huh? So now you want to reject that marriage by telling your father that you already have someone who you want to share the future with. And Ghetto will be playing that role, correct? That's right. My father stands to gain some incredibly big advantages if this marriage goes through, so it's very likely that he'll try to get rid of my boyfriend through underhanded means. The goal is to crush my father's ambition once and for all, grind it down to dust so that he'll never again meddle in my life like this. That will be your job as my rental boyfriend. See, if I don't do this now, I'm going to have some serious problems once I actually get a real boyfriend. And then Geto looks down. Huh? Geto-kun, will you do it? Hey, let me just remind you that you don't have the right to refuse. And then she brings the recording out again. Hime? I never had any intention of refusing. I'm honestly finding this prickly side of you hard to deal with. But if you're in distress, we know a certain someone will be even more distressed on your behalf. Having others decide your marriage partner without your knowledge or consent, I would never agree to that either. So yes, I accept. I'll be your rental boyfriend. And she seems surprised that he's like so willing. Just don't forget, it's all pretend. Get the wrong idea and it's karate chop for you. Got it? So she's going to be the tsundere? Got it. Still, it's pretty surprising that you and Ureshino get along. And what do you mean by that? I mean, if this is the real you, I'd imagine it'd be stifling to have to put on an act around Ureshino. The real me? What about you? Can you really claim that, you know the real you? Can you say what kind of person you are? Gah! The timid me, the aggressive me, and all other sides of me, they're all part of who I am. She isn't good with overly assertive types, so I thought it'd be easier to be around me if I showed my more timid side instead. Pretty sure you guys are good with my more aggressive side, so that's all you're getting. That, and I'm also your client. Kinosaki-san, sorry to ask you guys this, but please help Himinchu for me. And we have the Ureshino flashback now. She can be quite difficult, but she's my precious, precious friend. And earlier, I don't want to bother you too much. You've done so much just by being here for me. Thank you, really. And then, that smile was genuine. You can't just pull that off if it's not from the heart. So anyway, the date and time for our meeting will be... And now we have text on eraser, Makito Hime. Okay, so I suppose this is the intended marriage partner. Very odd setup here, the lineup behind him with her face on all these guys' faces. I love how... I talk a lot about how Chainsaw Man tells so much story through its art, and also MARRIAGETOXIN does as well, and how Chainsaw Man's so creative with its direction and everything, but I really think the difference between them, I think, if anything, my personal opinion, MARRIAGETOXIN is even more creative with it, but where Chainsaw Man takes itself very seriously, like there's a lot of comedy, but even in its comedy it takes itself seriously, MARRIAGETOXIN is just fun. MARRIAGETOXIN is like doing the same sorts of creativity, but in the goofiest way, and it's so fun. Alright, and they're all kneeling before this other guy. From the eraser shavings, he makes a doll of her. He's really good at this, actually. Quite the artist. Well then, you may now kiss the bride. And it looks like her father's the one kneeling behind the planned fiancé. And thus concludes the soul wedding ceremony. Anyone who dares stand in the way of your love shall be met with an untimely death. A strange danger looms at the pretend romance, or as the pretend romance begins. Okay, very, very cool setup. I like this already. I'm excited to see where it goes already. Like, we already have interesting looking characters with the guy conducting the soul ceremony, with the potential forced fiance, and with Hime herself, plus Ureshino's not really sticking around, but I think we'll see a little bit more of her, which is really cool, which is really good to me, because I said before how it'd be nice to, keep referencing back or coming back to some of the arc characters from the past, because it's gonna feel weird if we're in a situation where Geto's like, oh man, I have to choose between these 5 girls. Meanwhile, we haven't seen Himekawa for like 50 chapters, like something like that. It's like we need some reminders. We need them to show up again here and there. So I like that aspect too. But either way, let's go to chapter 66. Continuing on, it says, rental boyfriend in distress. Please let me marry your daughter. And he's just stumbling his way through it. There's no soul in your words. Make Hikaru Geto into a rental boyfriend material over... Sorry, material makeover is just tripping me up. Let me start from the beginning of the sentence again. Make Hikaru Geto into boyfriend material makeover plan. Rehearsal for meeting the father. Why was the material makeover just really tripping my brain up? Where's the soul? Where's the passion? You gotta go hard or go bust. Don't be a wimp. It's all about the soul. I'm playing the role of the father. Kiyosaki in the background. But in the first place, is there really any point in practicing this? You should be treating this like the real thing, precisely because you're a rental boyfriend. Well, then again, please, let me marry your daughter. Okay, you just went from bad to worse. No use getting loud if you're going to trip over your words like that. Kinosaki, well, I guess you can just consider this part of your training. You know, one day, you'll have to do this for your actual wife-to-be. Enough talk, again, and they're at the town hall. He's just steaming. Still alive? Fine, let's move on. We'll tackle clothing and manners. And then he twitches. He moved. And he's confident in this one. We have him dressing up, preparing food, giving a gift, bowing, pouring alcohol. I happen to be a master when it comes to formal wear and etiquette. How's that? Absolutely awful. What? Why? That was perfect to a T. However, you need to be more rugged and rough. The image we're going for is that of an upstart businessman who was brought up in a poor household. That's what my boyfriend's supposed to be like. You gotta have more of a spunky punk vibe. That's very specific. Do we really have to stick to this story? Upstart businessman? What a look! This is so different for Geto. This is so different to how he's dressed so far in the series. And she's into it! This is the look that she's totally into. You gotta be colder and fiercer, but with a bit of kindness sprinkled here and there. And he's shocked. Let's start with the basics. Now grab me by the collar. I guess Kimi-san likes the more domineering type, huh? And then, of course, as he's being forced to grab her, he is Eve in the background. And then, time skip. What a woman. That face is so good. That face is incredible. That could be an emote face. He broke. Well, I guess you pass, but barely. The look saved you. Well, it's almost time. Let's head to my house. This is the guy my father's trying to force me to marry. His name is Takeo Heiwajima. We're the same age. He's the son of a fairly powerful National Diet member. We run a trading company, so having him in the family would have its perks. That's why, in order to scare away my boyfriend, my father's probably hired a bunch of scary-looking goons. But, you know, this Heiwajima guy doesn't look half bad, does he? In fact, isn't he your type? I guess you could say that he's okay, at least his looks... Yeah, I mean, he is, like, super good-looking, isn't he? I guess you could say that he's okay, at least his looks and vibe. But I want to get married to a man I've fallen in love with, and I don't want someone else arranging things for me. You know, I know how you feel. I don't need your sympathy on this. And you know what? If it wasn't for the fact that we just last chapter saw the creepy soul marriage ceremony thing, I would actually be like, hey, maybe she should give him a chance. Maybe he's not that bad a guy. Of course, we know that he would be because it's a story. And of course, like, the arranged marriage is always a horrible guy. But like, you know, if we didn't have that directly spelled out for us, it's like, I don't know, maybe give him a chance. God, this is too difficult. There. But depending on how you view it, matchmaking and arranged marriages also have their merits, don't you think? I know they do. I know that there are marriages where you can find love after you're already together. Still, what I want is to meet a lot of people. Then find the one who I really think is right for me. I think getting together like that is just way more fun. What a gorgeous spread. We only get one chance at life. And I want to live freely and do exactly as I like. And then Geto smiles. Well, at the very least, I know there's zero chance that it'd be you. You really think so? Naturally, there's no way I'd ever fall for a cheating bastard like you. Ireshinonchu appears to have a heart of gold. You just have it easy because she's nice. I'm having none of that crap. Wait a minute. Are you trying to go for me too? Creep. And then the look on his face is so good. Geto-kun, I told you it's not like that. I'm a cheater. And he's going through it. Your walk is back to how it was before practicing. Bring that spunk, come on. And the sign says Himi. Okay, so that's the kanji they use. I did think, oh my god, Kinosaki is so pretty! That it might be better if I let him handle this on his own, but I'm worried that I'll have some trouble with Himi-san. More importantly, Geto-kun? I know. And then she's trembling. Are you feeling sick, maybe? Not really. And we see that she's completely different around different people, but also terrified of her father. And then she winces as the door opens. Oh, hi, Mako-chan. Welcome back. Mako-chan? Hello, dear guest. We've been waiting for your arrival. Wait, she was Mako Hime? Why? Never mind. Why did I think she was Hime Miki? Or Miko? Why did I... Yeah, sorry. I guess I forgot her name already. That's why I was like, Mako-chan. We've been waiting your arrival. Where's Papa? The master should be joining you in a while. Hey lady, spunky punk mode, on. Be careful not to overwork yourself, you hear? And he smiles. Alright, I nailed that. Oh my, thank you for your kind words. She pulls a knife. But you don't need to worry about this, old lady. And goes for him. But he immediately throws her. And then, our nanny is jolly and playful. This has to be some kind of joke. Then she's got an extreme sense of humor. And a bunch of other butlers come in, grinning, holding knives and shears. These guys, they aren't just here to scare us away. They're here to kill. Those eyes, this feeling, are they brainwashed? Is it him and we see Naruko again? I can't say for sure. Maybe someone related. If that's the case, then we're in real danger right now. I did not expect to see Naruko again. Wouldn't have been on the bingo card. How will Geto respond to this crazy welcome? Again, extremely excited. Here's the thing. I like Hime so far a lot. I think she's a really good character. Visually, I think she's really attractive. Personality-wise, probably not my style, because I am a very, I don't know, I feel as though, if you can't tell through my videos, I tend to be a very polite and soft-spoken person. It sounds really cringy and awful saying that about myself. I now hear as I'm saying it aloud, but yeah, I tend to not be the kind of guy she is looking for. I am not the spunky punk. That is not me. So, I don't know. I feel like I would definitely be out of the running, but yeah, I like her as a character a lot. I love the setup of this arc. I think the setup is very, very fun. So I'm excited to see what happens next. Let's just move on. And these chapters haven't been like crazy long or anything, but they have been longer than I expected. So I'm maybe going to stop at 68. We'll see. We'll see. I have other things I want to do, and I'm already running teeny bit behind. Not really that behind, but I just have a bunch of other videos and stuff that I want to get done. So I may be stopping at 68 just because, again, I have seen the chapter titles when I was getting the Volume 8 cover and getting Volume 8 ready and everything. So I think it seems like that might be a good place to stop, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what happens with 67. Ordinary civilians brimming with murderous intent. How will Geto navigate this sticky situation? That and I worry about catching up too soon and then just being stuck waiting every week. That's something that, even if I'm doing like 3 chapters a week or 2 chapters a week, to me that's more fun than being stuck waiting for 1 chapter a week. So we have chapter 67. I kind of like being behind more than being caught up. Is this the sound user's work? Sorry, hiccup. Whoa, that was a freaking huge one. Oh man. Yeah, it happens a lot when I record. And it's not like consistent hiccups, you know, like when you eat sometimes. It's like when I record sometimes, I just get hit by these massive, just single hiccups every once in a while. Is this the sound user's work? No, it couldn't be. Kiku-san, Jiro-san, why are you all acting like this? These guys aren't specialists. They're just ordinary people who work for the household. Or Hime household. The sound user's techniques shouldn't be capable of enhancing people's physical abilities to this level. No, it feels a little different from physical enhancement. It's almost as if their tools carry a murderous aura of their own. Well, it's worth a try. And he throws the acupuncture needles, I think. And he starts breaking through their blades. And breaking through their blades stops the That's interesting. So it is the blades that were controlling the people. Okay. Did those needles have poison to corrode their weapons? And then he checks on them. I was right. I'm not entirely sure how, but these guys were being controlled through these tools. Move. She pushes him out of the way. Kiku-san, Jiro-san, are you okay? The chandelier snaps from above and starts falling toward Hime. That seems like somebody they shouldn't be trying to take out. And then Geto rescues all of them. Hey, Hime, wake up. And we go into a flashback. Ureshi nonchu? Sorry to ask this of you so suddenly, but I just don't have anyone else to ask. No, don't worry about it. I'm sure Geto-san will do all he can to help you out. But this Geto guy, well, since you're vouching for him, I do want to believe in him, but Himinchu, Geto-san's a man who's earned my full trust. Hime, you okay? Sorry, those enemies were after me, and yet you really are the worst. I'll never ever fall for your tricks. Got it? And then shock. The guy cannot understand the tsundere. Geto-kun, you shouldn't take. And I guess it isn't. Is it quite tsundere? I mean, I guess it kind of is. But like I've seen the character archetype a lot before, where they're just really, really abusive to hide their and not like abusive as in like actual domestic abuse. Abrasive. I mean, I guess that's a better way to put it. They're very, very abrasive in order to hide their feelings. Geto-kun, you shouldn't take those words at face value, okay? Gah. Is it some kind of code? More importantly, though, we're in a bit of trouble here, aren't we? I can't believe my father would go this far. Makoto? Are you all right? I was so worried. I've warned you so many times. Standing under the chandelier is dangerous. And then he looks over. My name is Hime Yukio. I'm Makoto's father. And then, were all these under your orders? So you're the boyfriend, yes. It seems Makoto's been telling you some rather awful stories. I believe she's told you that I'm pushing her into this arranged marriage for my own benefit. But this is all, and he starts crying. A big misunderstanding. Okay, we saw him kneeling behind the Diet member's son and whoever the guy that was conducting the ceremony was. So it seems like he might actually be getting forced into this. All I want is for Makoto to be happy. The facial expressions are so good in Marriage-Toxin. She's always been such a meek girl, so I've always had to watch over her closely. But this might be an act, because we saw how nervous she was about him coming in. And also now the way that it looks like in this panel, we're showing that she's specifically leaning away from him. I thought if she married someone like Heiwajima, who's the son of a powerful politician, she could live the rest of her life without any worries. And we see her trembling. And Kinosaki pulls her away. Hime-san, I'm sorry. I just can't bear to keep watching. What are you... Hey, old man. You think I can't see right through your tricks? Selfish bastards like you are rotten to the core. You only care about your own gains. Your daughter's happiness. Don't make me laugh. If all that crap you're spouting is true, then why is Hime trembling in fear like this? Hime, you too. If you've got something to say, you should just say it loud and clear. Don't hold back because he's your dad. You don't want to live a life of regrets, do you? And he is actually becoming the spunky punk. Sorry, but I can't hand my daughter to you. And then we have this wedding scene. The only aisle I'm walking Makoto down, is the one that leads to her and Heiwajima-kun's happiness. And then something happens with Geto's hand. My arm feels heavy. What did you do? Well then, please work your magic, Sakazuki-sensei. Yo, what a cool hat. It's a Sakazuki cup, but upside down to serve as his hat. And is that... It looks like a very short switch. So I'm not entirely sure what sort of console he's playing with. And then, when did he get here? This is such a pain. Why do I have to deal with this poison user? But I guess I'll try asking anyway. Sorry, but can I ask you a favor? So this is actually Dark Souls. So, let's see. And it looks like... Is that just straight up... It looks almost like Undead... Or no, not Undead Asylum. Undead Parish? Sorry, but can I ask you a favor? Can you completely forget about all this? Is it a Steam Deck? Is that what he's messing with? And act like none of it ever happened? Like hell I could. We have shots of their eyes. And then Geto going for an attack. Why don't you call it a night? He goes straight for the eyes. But he's frozen as he jumps down. Well, that's what I expected. I knew trying to control you using belongings of the dead would be an unwinnable game. So instead, I'll possess you directly. And then, Geto-kun, thank you so much. Thanks to you, I don't have to punish my daughter today. Ghost user, Sakazuki-sensei. Okay, so again, I like the character design aspect of, like, he has, like, the prayer beads, the old, ragged, torn up, like, monk's outfit, kind of. The Sakazuki cup as a hat. And then... So there's been somebody commenting on my Omniscient Reader videos with the profile name Ghost User. Are you watching this? Or did you come here from MARRIAGETOXIN and then went over to the Omniscient Reader stuff, or vice versa? But we do have somebody named Ghost User. Now then, young lady, it's time for us to go. No, my soul is screaming against you. And he looks pissed. I swear I hate idiots. I hate idiots so much. I was asking you very nicely. Geto-kun, you know, I was hoping we could settle this peacefully. After all, your guy's already on our side. And then, soulful brainwashing. And again, they keep talking about souls. Maybe that's why I was playing Dark Souls. This spells serious trouble. Okay, so if Geto's been taken over, is it going to be one of those things where he breaks out of the possession himself? Or where we have somebody do something really cool, or somebody else come in who isn't here? I mean, for the one arc we had Ushio come back in. I don't know. Interesting. This would actually be a pretty good cliffhanger, but I'm gonna try to do one more. Maybe I should stop, but I'll try to do one more. I've been very bad at stopping myself from reading and recording lately. Geto succumbs to brainwashing. Meet my new slave, Geto Hikaru. Okay, so they actually switched it up here. Usually they go first name first in the translation, but they actually went last name first this time. My new slave, Geto Hikaru. Sorry, hiccup. I can guarantee he'll escort you very gently. You'll be happy to come with us, won't you? Makoto Hime-san. And then they switched it up here again. Because Makoto is her first name, and they put it first this time. Or perhaps you'd prefer a slightly rougher treatment. Would you like to be paralyzed by one of his poisons instead? And he's fighting back by injecting it. Okay, so he is just... That wasn't much drama. He just immediately is breaking out of it again. Geto-kun? Sorry, that was a close call. I managed to come back to my senses by jamming myself with 1,000 torments, but that was way too close for comfort. And we still see... Again, how does Ghost User work? How do you possess people? We're getting into some, like, paranormal... I mean, like, we're already into, like, metaphysical... Like, special powers? I guess I don't necessarily think of that as strictly paranormal, so to speak. But we're getting into, like, ghosts and spirits and paranormal stuff existing. And then, instantly analyzing the situation and finding the appropriate solution. I guess that's the top 5 families for you. This is going to be a hell of a hassle. Sakazuki-sensei! He's still crying. I'd like to request you to please kill Makoto's boyfriend. That's not really part of my job, but that option might just be easier. And he pulls out boxing gloves? Altered Lineage Amplified. Deathly DLC. What? Boxing gloves? Is he going to use, like, items from, like, dead people? So he's using a dead boxer's boxing gloves? Late 19th century London. Night after night, one after the other, young ladies were getting indiscriminately and brutally murdered in the streets. Did he put the soul of Jack the Ripper into boxing gloves? The murders appeared to have been committed with a sharp-bladed weapon. Or are they going to say he just punched them so hard they exploded? The police at the time conducted a large-scale investigation into these cases, but despite their efforts, they were unable to find the culprit. To this day, the truth of the murders remains buried in the dark. This is because investigators back then made a huge mistake. The murder weapon was not bladed at all. It was a masterful stroke honed to perfection, sharp enough to cut through the air. Jack the Upper. And this is so goofy, it's incredible. I love MARRIAGETOXIN. He's using the soul of Jack the Ripper, but he was actually Jack the Upper, the king of boxing. This ghost user, Sakazuki, does he use murder weapons as antennas to call on and download ghosts of killers from the past? He probably used the same technique on the Hime family servants. That explains the murderous aura they were emanating. A direct blow from that uppercut would be brutal, no doubt, but compared to Peachy, this speed is nothing. Toxin, vision, and he still gets hit. What? Geto-kun? Damn it, I can't follow his moves with my eyes, or I can follow his moves with my eyes, but my body won't do what I tell it. And we have Altered Lineage Amplified, Ghastly Debuff. So he's casting a debuff on him. Is this the cause? Everyone has a ghost haunting them. It's like having 80 kilograms worth of air hovering above your head. And then 80 okay. I thought that translator's note was 80 kilograms is 2.2 pounds. And I was like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? Okay, never mind. They're doing their thing that they always do with yen, where instead of just giving us a translator's note of what the actual amount is, they're giving us the conversion for like 1 and saying figure out the rest yourself. Once you've taken notice of it, you can no longer ignore it. You've already been possessed once. You can't break free a second time. And he's being held back as a punch comes in again. Makoto, how do you feel now? Your pretend boyfriend is going to die because of your selfishness, and I love how we're using the father as this spirit that's tormenting Hime. Hold it, what are you trying to do to Hime-san? And he starts crying again. This is none of your business, so stay out of it. And he punches the best girl / boy in the series. Ah, Kinosaki-san. Makoto, don't take this the wrong way. Are we going to get a Kinosaki-san fight? I would love to see Kinosaki just beat up this old man. I'm doing this all for you. And he immediately switches up again. So it's interesting showing him switch up much like how she switches up, but in a very different way, in a very different context. I'm doing all of this for you. You've been foolish and unsociable ever since you were little. You've done nothing but cause trouble and distress to the people around you. And he's, again, just tearing down her ego. This whole disaster is also a result of your actions, is it not? You always play the victim, but this is all your fault, isn't it? So tearing down her ego to make it think like, oh no, this is all your fault. You're always messing things up. That's why I'm doing the right thing. You have to understand, your one and only chance at finding happiness is to listen to me and marry the one I've chosen for you. And she starts trembling again. What are you? Damn it, my body won't move. Seems like those two are in need of some heart-to-heart communication. And then he kicks away Geto and punches him again, sending him spinning and falling down. Let me be of assistance. Altered Lineage Amplified, and he brings their foreheads together. Spiritual PvP. And both of them black out. What's the ghost user doing? And it's interesting because he was like, well, I wasn't supposed to kill the poison user, but it might just make things easier. So it's kind of interesting that it seems like Ghost User isn't like strictly loyal to her dad or whatever. He's just kind of doing his own thing here. If anything, he's probably working for the Diet member and his son, Heiwajima. Now you can hear your father's feelings in the very depths of your soul. She wakes up in a field of sunflowers. Those are kind of like low to the ground to be sunflowers though. And her father is just looming over her. Another crazy spread. It's just the two of us now, Makoto. We can lay it all out between us, father and daughter. So let's talk it out as equals, shall we? And using her directly in front of him, almost like the silhouette of her making his face kind of almost look like a skull, is also really, really interesting. So let's talk it out as equals, shall we? And we have them both collapsed in reality. Right. Oh, is that so? What? So let's talk it out. That's a weird cut. Yeah, it's a weird cut back to Ghost User. Right. Oh, is that so? So you're not very fond of playing with men, are you? All right. Then I'll end this quickly. And then his method assaults both body and mind. Okay. So he's probably talking to the gloves then, because again, Jack the Upper only killed women. His method assaults both body and mind. This Ghost User, Sakazuki, might just be a real threat. How will Geto break free from this one-sided game? It's hard not to smile and laugh at Jack the Upper. Oh man, that's so funny. MARRIAGETOXIN is so good. I love this arc already. This arc is so good already. Like, I think we haven't even got to the end part yet, which is like always kind of the best part. But I would say already this might be my second favorite arc. It's so fun. And the character stuff is just so easily digestible in a really good way, in a way that I like. Like, all of the arcs have really great character work, but this is just like speaking to me very easily. It's, I don't know, I'm vibing with it, I guess. Like, it's one of those things where it's just, I'm personally liking it, even if it's like, you know, all of them are great. This is one that I'm just personally connecting with. But either way, that's it for this week. I really enjoyed these. I need to go record some other stuff. So thank you. Thank you so much. Again, if you all often see me in my videos wearing the same shirt for a lot of videos, I bulk record like a lot of videos at a time. That's why. So, you know, I'm still going to be going to record other stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there too. Tell me what you thought of these chapters, my first thoughts and reaction to them. Subscribe for more MARRIAGETOXIN, much more on the channel. I'd love it if you subscribed and stuck around. It'd be very wonderful. I absolutely adore this series, but there's so many others going on. If you want to follow on Twitter, we can talk there. If you want a link to the Discord server, we can talk there. It is free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link to that. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can drop a super thanks down below. But if you want to not only support the channel to help me to continue to make videos, but also get One Piece videos early, also get a shout out at the end of every single video, you can hit join down below to become a channel member. Go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. I almost said matron, combining the patrons and members. Thank you so much to the matrons. Thank you to Chosen Regular, Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono and Abyss Knight, Cheriton Students, David Langstaff and Volded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stance Eater, and Pure Element Pate Ardeal. I don't know if I should change any of the tier names or if people are attached to them or anything. I want to keep Magical Girls and Pure Elements because of MGRP. Chosen Regular, Slayer Candidates, and Irregulars from Tower of God. Cheriton Students is a Beastars reference, but it almost like, I don't know, it almost makes me want to do one for each of the weekly series that we're doing right now, like Kubera, Omniscient Reader, Tower of God, MARRIAGETOXIN. Would I say specialists for one of them? Yeah, I'm stuck between wanting to keep them just because what I have is what I made at the beginning, and I really have this personal connection, and wanting to do, like, you know, updated versions. I don't know. I guess I'll stick with them. But again, like, I feel like Cheriton Students being a Beastars reference is a little less applicable to things going on the channel right now. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you all next time.